Why are narcissistic parents so tough and so hard on their children? Why? What goes on in the mind of a narcissist when their kids are acting up, when their kids are not being exactly how they want them to be? That's what we're talking about today, y'all. Of course, if you're new here, I'm Lee Hammock. I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. Boom. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Yo, I did a one-on-one over Zoom with somebody the other day, and they asked me, and it's like, they said, Lee, why do narcissists that are parents or narcissistic parents just treat their kids so differently? Why are they so bad towards their children? Why do it seems like they're ashamed of their kids sometimes? I was like, that's the perfect word you just used. Shame. Narcissist parents share the shame of their kids. They look at when their kids do things that are against the law, or their kids have bad grades, or kids or get in trouble, or whatever the case may be. Narcissistic parents feel that shame on a personal level because they see their kids, their children, as the reflections of themselves. Like narcissistic parents, I even include myself, we see our children as reflections of ourselves. We just do. It's that, y'all, it's one of the things that's very difficult to deal with, right? It's very difficult to separate yourself from, it's very difficult to separate your children's identity from that of yourself when you have a personality disorder like this, because my personality is so rooted in shame and disaster and doing this other stuff. It's just like, I can't get past it, like, with my son, like let's say my oldest son, right? He's 17 years old now. They just say like he's a good basketball player, right? Just an amazing basketball player. Like I wanted him to go off for the team so bad 'cause I know he could have made the team, but he didn't go off for the team. He has every right not to, right? That's every right not to. And I felt bad about that, right? I got angry. I felt ashamed of it. I was like, man, really? I was like, man, why, you so good at basketball? You could have won it. You could have made the team, and he didn't want to play basketball. And I realized that my identity was tied to him. I was like, I'm ashamed that he didn't go out because I wanted him to play because I could brag on my son being on the team. I have so many other things to brag on my son about. He's a great student, super smart, handsome, funny, right? He got a lot of things going for him, right? He really does. He's an amazing young man. He's gonna be amazing. He's a good boy, right? I say young man. He's still 17. He's a good boy. I have so many other things to be proud of him about, but it's just I attached that to me, right? And I was ashamed of it, and I'm embarrassed to even say this out loud, but I was. It's just like even when he was growing up and he was in school, and this is including my youngest son now. They do something in school, and I feel like it's not up to him. Like the teacher says something, hey, your son did this in school. It immediately hurts my feelings because I look at it. I feel like a bad parent immediately, and it's deep embedded shame within me that makes me feel that way. It really is. Like I cannot shake loose of it. I cannot get free of it. I've been doing the work for 8 years now. I've been in therapy for over 8 years now. October was my 8-year anniversary. So I've been doing the work for over 8 years now to get to this point where I'm at right now. And it's been a tough, like I said, it's been a beautiful ride, like Dewey Cox said, but it's also been a tough ride. It's not one of those things that you just get used to over time, right? It's just extremely tough to deal with. It's an extremely tough battle right now. Like either separate my own identity from that of my children. So if you've had a narcissistic parent growing up, you probably can attest to this for real. I know you can, right? I know you can. I know when you've done something wrong, your parents might have gave you the silent treatment or something minor. They beat your ass. You got a whooping because you did something minor, right? Your minor things are major to them because it embarrasses them, right? This is why sometimes when a narcissistic parent, or toxic parent, I'm just starting saying toxic parent. Narcissistic got too many syllables. When a toxic parent is angry at you, they'll say out loud, you embarrassed me. You embarrassed this family. Your wrongdoings made me look bad. What are people going to think about me? How are people going to view our family because of what you did? You see how central focused on their own personality that is right there? That's literally them thinking about themselves when they're punishing you. That's literally them taking out what they've done to themselves, what they're going through, and taking it out on you. That's literally how it is. That's literally the crux of everything. I know I say literally a lot, but literally, that's it right there, though, man. Like, seriously, it's so many places that we go through in these situations when you're dealing with somebody like this that they cannot just fathom. They cannot detach that away. Like for me, and this is why you get a lot of parents that are narcissists, right? Toxic parents that hold their kids back. It's like they don't want you to grow up. They don't want you to have your independence. They want you to depend on them always, because the more you depend on them, the more that they feel like they can control you. They can control your life. Like narcissistic parents don't want you to have any type of autonomy, because the more autonomy you have, right? The more autonomy you have, the worse they feel. I know that sounds stupid, but it really is how it goes. The more autonomy you have, the better, the more time you have to yourself, the more you're able to fend for yourself, the worse they feel, because they don't want to look bad, right? This is why a lot of times you get you get a lot of narcissistic parents that discard their children. Some of the toxic deadbeat narcissistic parents that discard their children do it out of shame. Do it out of shame because their kids are not going to be exactly how they want to be. This is why sometimes when you're separated, or you're divorced, or you're broken up, or you're trying to co-parent, they just opt out of it because they don't feel like their kids are listening to their kids are talking back to them. It works. They're fine when the kids are little, right? When they can just talk to the kids and the kids will do what they say. But when the kids start growing up and having an identity of their own and start rebelling and start talking back and start because they understand the situation, that's when they start to discard their children. They feel like they no longer have use for them. So they feel like they can discard them. I no longer have use for you because you're talking back to me. So I feel like that I can discard you. I no longer have use for you because of this. So I feel like I can discard you. I feel like you're not exactly like me, so I can discard you. I can get rid of you. And sometimes, and this is gonna sound bad right here, y'all. Let me go ahead and preface this. This is gonna sound horrible, but sometimes if you have a disabled child, they'll discard them too because that child is not how they thought they were gonna be. They just any type of disability, which sucks, man. Which absolutely is an evil. It can be evil when they do it just so ferociously. I don't want to be there for that child, because your kid is in a wheelchair, or your kid needs special needs, or something along those lines. Your child is autistic, perhaps, and now they don't want to deal with them. They just opt out. They disappear because they're horrible. They're horrible people. They're evil, But they feel the shame of that. They feel like they're ashamed of your kids, which is it's them. It really is internal thing. It's inside, right? It's inside. It has very little, and I know this is easy for me to say. It has very little to do with you as the other parent, as the other person. It has very little to do with you. I know sometimes they're going to blame you for discarding the kids. They're going to say you never slept with me anymore. You making life difficult for me. You taking my money, blah, 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 blue, 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 beep, 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 beep. Whatever it is, they're going to say that type of stuff because they can benefit from that type of stuff. They can benefit from that type of rhetoric. So they're going to say it, right? Am I right? But you, as a survivor, as somebody who's thriving through this, as somebody who's got a co-parent with this horrible bastard person, this evil bastard, or whatever the case may be, you understand it. It's hard. Like I say, being raised by narcissists is tough. There's so many people. Matter of fact, one of my very first podcasts was about a woman who said she got raised by a narcissist and ended up with a narcissistic boyfriend or husband or whatever. That happens too. You know what I mean? That absolutely happens. Sometimes that narcissistic parent drives you into a damn toxic relationship, right? And that narcissistic parent, when you're in a toxic relationship, will choose the side of your abuser, will choose the side of your manipulator, will choose the side of this horrible person. That's what be happening. They will pick the side of the person that is hurting you, right? They will pick the side of the person that is treating you horribly. That's how they go. That's the mentality of a narcissistic parent. They want to put you in your place. But this is crazy, man. Like I said, it really is just a very unique mindset. Because if I put my narcissist hat on right and I go into my parenting brain, for a long time, I really did view my children as reflections of me. So when that reflection looks bad, I feel bad. When that reflection does something bad, I feel horrible. You get in trouble, I'm in trouble too. You like I said, you hurt yourself or you get sick, I'm get sick. I feel like I'm a failed parent. It just they tie their identity to their kids so much, it can get very toxic. It really does. Like there are some that tie their identity. There are some that tie their identity to their children so much that they try to start living vicariously through their children. They start forcing them into certain sports or activities that they might not even want to do. Right? They try to do all of this stuff in order to get their kids to be a good reflection of them. I might not have got a chance to play basketball, so I want my sons to do it. I might not have got a chance to do this. I want this to do this, right? It's just in that space right there. There's so many different avenues to how it goes. I'm serious, man. And that's why I'm saying, like, as you continue to move forward, as you are on your journey, you got to understand that this is how a narcissist's mind works. Like they're going to look at those children as reflection of themselves, and that child is reflecting back bad stuff. They're going to feel so much shame. They're going to get angry at the kids. They're going to take it out on the children. They're going to take it out on the other parent. They're going to take it out on the world. Sometimes they'll discard, right? But on the other side of things, if that narcissist if that child is a positive reflection, reflecting back positive things, you might get the chance to be the golden child in that situation, right? You get a chance to be the golden child. Like golden children are still abused as well. You know that. The golden child still gets abused. It just looks different than a scapegoat child. The scapegoat child damn near get kicked out the house and thrown outside and into the garage or something like that. But the golden child gets abused. They have to be perfect. The golden child has to be perfect because if you're not perfect, you get chastised. You get beat. You get treated horribly. You see what I'm saying? It's very different. Go watch the movie Encanto. You'll see the difference between the scapegoat and the golden child. With how Isabel and what's the one with the flower power, the one who can make the flowers. I can't think of her name. Mirabelle is the one who's a scapegoat. Isabel is the one who controlled the flowers. That's the golden child. Go watch Encanto. It'll change your viewpoint on a lot of different things. You're like, damn, Lee, that's crazy right there. How the golden child and the scapegoat child is so, you know what I'm saying? And how the abuela, the grandma, took it personally when Mirabelle started acting up. When Mirabelle started doing things that everybody viewed as wrong, she was embarrassed. She was ashamed. So she put her in the room. She's like, get out of here. You doing too much. You're in the way, right? But then Isabel, she's beautiful. She's going to get married to everybody. She's going to save the family. Do everything for your family. Family, you know what I mean? But amazing movie. Encanto might be. Coco and Encanto are competing for 1 and 1A. Frozen was up there. Frozen's still up there. But Encanto, animated movies, it's up there. It is up there. Animated soundtrack, you go to K-pop Demon Hunters. Ain't nothing topping that. But anyways, y'all, mentalhealness.net for all things Lee Hammock. Speaking of children, I have my kids book that's available. It's called Remember It's Not Your Fault. It's available on Amazon. Remember It's Not Your Fault. It's on Amazon. You can check it out right now. It's a good kids book to have a good conversation with your children about toxic relationship dynamics, loving themselves, self-love, and all the other good stuff, y'all. Remember, it's not your fault on Amazon. Peace.